5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're now tuned into the 411 podcast and reading Between the Wines, powered by the Black Diamond Consultations Network. More than a podcast, this is a sanctuary for self-discovery, healing, and personal growth. Here, we explore what it means to live debt-free, not just financially, but spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Every episode is part of a journey across our weekly mentorship series: Spiritual Sundays, Mental Mondays, Transformational Tuesdays, Wind Down Wednesdays, Coaching Sessions Thursdays, and Financial Fridays. Each day holds space for wisdom, clarity, and real conversation. So grab your journal, pour your glass, and prepare to go beyond the surface. Because here, we don't just talk, we transform. And now, here's your guide through it all: entrepreneur, mentor, and founder of Black Diamond Consultations, Laren Gaines.
Welcome on in. It is Wind Down Wednesday. Welcome to Reading Between the Wines. It's December 17th. I can't believe it, but the holiday, I guess the ultimate holiday, is next week. So, well, it's here. And also, this is the last episode of 2025. So, welcome in. Wind Down Wednesday, Reading Between the Wines, episode 63. Comfortable, broke, and still smiling. But before we go ahead and get on into this, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you out there for supporting and rocking and hanging in there with me. You know, it's been a journey this year, but I also could not do this without my executive producer, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for allowing me to come out here and do what I do, connect with so many different people, and list just continues to go on and on and on. So I want to say thank you so much. This has been a journey, 63 episodes with all of the bumps, the bruises, and the hiccups and the mistakes that, you know, we have made throughout 2025. This has just been amazing. And I definitely have restored. You know, this has been restoration, the theme for this year. And I can say that that has been accomplished. So thank you all so much for that. And we're going to get right on into it. Song of the day: Don't Let It Go to Your Head by Nubian, released in 1998 off of the Foundation album. So this song is so important to me because growing up as a kid, there was another song, "Don't Let It Go to Your Head" by Jean Carn. I think I'm saying her. If I'm not, y'all can please correct me. But the beat it's basically identical because they sampled it, and I remember listening to it as a kid, and it hit hard. It was just it, and you know, I was what 18, 19 years old when Nubian, did the remix, and it's the same thing, and the message is the same. Don't let it go to your head, because like if I'm loving you, you loving me. No, excuse me, let me back that up. Don't let it go to your head, because if I'm loving you and you fronting a little bit, don't let this thing go to your head, because I may not always be here. That's the original message. And then Brand Nubian mixes it up and still letting you know that don't let it go to your head. So the theme is, don't get full of yourself. Don't let it go to your head, because things can change left and right. What goes up must come down. And ask me how I know, because I've been there before. I don't know who I'm talking to, but I'm, just speaking from real life experiences. And they basically says that everybody loves a star when a star is on top. Don't let it go to your head. Nobody comes around when the star starts to drop. Don't let it go to your head. Strive to help others who help themselves. Don't let it go to your head. Serve in good health and wealth. It just makes so much sense. And I'm not going to keep y'all long here. And I'm not going to do that. But of course, when you riding high, when the money is flowing well, everything is going good, of course, everybody wants to be around and they just want to spend and they just want to be you because you it during that moment. What happens when all that money is gone? There goes the money, there goes your bins, there goes your friends. And then what happens when you hit a brick or you hit some hard times in your life and situations ain't popping off the way that it used to be? Where are all of those friends that were there in the beginning? And here, strive to help others who help themselves. Strive to help others who help themselves. Sometimes when we got all of the extra cash flowing and we have all of the extra, just being extra, as they say nowadays, doing the most. Sometimes we try to pull people up and help people who are not on the same page as us. And here you are striving to help other people and trying to pull other people up and want to do it for themselves. All that's going to do is eat away at your profit. And I love when it says serve in good health and wealth, because right there, that's the most important thing. If you don't have health, you ain't going to have no. Song of the day, Don't Let It Go to Your Head, 1998, brand Nubian off of the Foundation album. Listen, it's ebb and flow. That's what they say. Ups and downs. It's this thing called karma. What goes around comes around. So remember, as you climb up that ladder, as you go up that ladder, you have to make sure that you treat people with respect, because what goes up must come down. And those same people that you might look different towards or feel a certain way towards or act a certain way towards, huh, you might be on a way back down. Song of the day. Don't let it go to your head. Just don't let it go to your head. So tonight, I'm not going to sample any wine tonight, but I most certainly am going to give you some wine reviews here tonight. So I want to make sure that we keep this Wind Down Wednesday what it's going to be. But I will say that there's going to be a little twist, and I've been thinking about this for a minute. There's going to be a little twist when it comes to reading between the wines. That's always going to be a staple. If we don't sample wine, I'm going to give you that wine wisdom. So you can either wind down with me on a Wednesday, or we can just have Wisdom Wednesday. But either way, I'm going to give it to you one way or the other. But this is going to be a dry episode tonight. So we'll just call it Wisdom Wednesday with a little wine twist here. So for those of you out there, if you are sampling, I want to say cheers and thank you so much for another episode. We definitely going to sample some great wine and explore a lot more in 2026. The reading between the wines already starting to think about what we share. So get ready for that. That's going to be an annual thing. But before you begin sampling your wine out there, I want everyone that Black Diamond Consultations and Reading Between Wine encourages responsible drinking at all times. Please be mindful of affects your spiritual, because they don't call it once for no reason, and it can affect your mental, financial well-being. Irresponsible habits can lead to harmful consequences in each of these areas of your life. Enjoy the savor of flavors and know your limits, because the best memories are made when we sip responsibly. So cheers, and thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Reading Between the Wines. So I'm going to speak about the Chardonnay grape tonight. Not one of my favorites, but it is a staple wine world, so I definitely want to highlight that as well. But Chardonnay is grown in many countries. Chardonnay is the world's most popular white variety and arguably the best in terms of quality of wine produced. It is the main grape in Burgundy, and it plays a crucial role in Champagne. Let me tell you, I definitely did indulge and plenty of champagne last week. The variety generally makes a full bodied, dry white wine, but its flavors are dramatically, excuse me, but the flavors vary dramatically from crisp, intense, and tropical, where it's planted and its winemaking technique used. The most intense examples come from California, Chile, and Australia. So, again, I said, not one of my favorites for some reason. It's just not. I think the first time I sampled it, I got a little out of control with it and almost drank a whole bottle and had a headache the next day. So, since then, it probably didn't go down as the best, you know, wine for me. But I still sample it from here to there. But I'll tell you, when I do see Chardonnay grape today, I'm like, the last one that I'll probably pick. But if I have nothing else to drink, then yeah. But I know a lot of people love Chardonnay. It comes in so many different flavors. You get your buttery version, you get your sweet version, and you get your drier version. But for those of you out there who love Chardonnay, I want to say cheers. And again, thank you so much for another episode of Reading Between the Wines. Now, we're here to the moment. I am going to go ahead and bring in my special guest, Birdman 313. What's going on? How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. Enjoying this
That's good.
Wednesday. How about you?
Oh man, everything is getting better. I mean, hey, what can I say?
That's good. Well, I'm saying that should be getting better. If it's not already better, how's the weather over there?
Well, it's been like in the 40s here, but it's supposed to go back up to around the 70s by the
70s,
end
huh?
of the week. Yes, yes.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
well, a matter of fact, the other morning, it was like I think it was 34 here. That's the lowest it's been, but by noontime it had warmed up. So
hmm. Interesting. Well. I was waiting for this opportunity, right? I really was
okay,
waiting for this. So last week, I ended up going to the Bahamas. So I enjoyed that. And it was kind of cold, believe it or not.
yeah,
Cold in the Bahamas.
yeah,
I didn't expect that. So
yeah,
I ended up wearing a hoodie most of the time. It was like 70 something, wind blowing crazy. I had shorts and the tank tops and all of that stuff, the slides and the flip flops, all of that, and was freezing most of the time. So I said, "Well, ain't this a okay?" And
yeah,
and then I come back to Philly to a snowstorm, 5
yeah.
inches of snow. Yep. So yeah, that's what I got going on here. All this dirty white snow that people just love so much. They want a white Christmas and all this other stuff. But do you like the way it look after the cars done rode over it 1,000 times? And you know, anyway, I'm not trying to bring anybody down, but that's just what we got going over here in New Jersey.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it. So I don't like this time of year because of the weather, and I can't wait until it's like 100 degrees again. I
Okay.
can't. So yes, this is the last episode of the year.
Oh yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. So you got big plans for the holidays?
Hey man, just sitting around the house watching TV, and that's about it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I'm clear. It's a slow progress. With this vertigo thing. So I'm just taking it day by day, man. I've been going out a little bit more,
Well,
and getting outside a little bit more. Than hey, and it's funny how it is. I wake up feeling good, and then a
mhm.
couple hours later, I may feel a little drowsy, and then all of a sudden, I'm feeling good again.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I will say
So,
that you did great during the financial wellness lunch and learn. I couldn't tell at all. Everything was looking great.
yeah, well, appreciate that. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I said, it just depends on the day because it's been a gloomy day today, and for whatever reason, when it's gloomy outside,
Mhm.
it seems like, and that's what a lot of people, if it's when it's gloomy, everything seems down. But when the sun is shining, it seems, and when it's bright and sunny,
Mhm.
people seem more happier.
Mm. Well, interesting. So that's one of the side effects of that. That's almost like what people experience. Me and a fellow coworker, we speak about seasonal depression.
Uh huh.
Like during this time of year. I'm not a real fan of it.
Right. Right.
So I guess that could affect it too, huh? Interesting.
Oh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I will tell you though, after being on the cruise ship, I guess some of the symptoms that you said is almost like being on a boat, like unstable a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
I am so thankful that I didn't experience that. I have to tell you, I'm so thankful because I have had some drunken moments sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me about it.
Fooling around or waking up the next day and the room is spinning. And
Yeah.
I didn't want to experience that on the boat, but I'm thankful that that didn't happen. So I got through it my first cruise. So I would probably think that it's safe to say that that wouldn't happen.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Glad you enjoyed it.
I did, and that part is done. Because let me tell you, it was a journey to get up to it. So yeah,
Yeah, well,
so yeah,
I
we
don't
here.
plan on taking no cruise, so hey, I just listen to what people tell me.
Yeah, yeah. I'm telling you, afterwards, I sit here and think, what was I thinking sometimes? Like, yeah, but that's a whole nother story. But
Yeah,
all right, so let's get right on into the money hacks, and we are going to retire this book today. So pick a good number. What number you got? Anywhere from 1 to 275, because this is going to be it for 2025.
273.
273. Let's see what we got here. 270 up. Let's see, 273. Hmm. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. This is a great one, especially with what we're experiencing now, or 2025 has definitely been a lot of this. For the investors out there, don't let the market upset you in September. Just as you shouldn't get caught up in January's stock market highs, don't be discouraged by September lows. Don't make any rash moves with your portfolio. You'll recover some of that value as the market moves into the autumn months. If you truly have money to spend on investments, September is a good time to buy. Think of stocks as being on sale during September. Buy a few shares now, and you'll probably find you can afford more than, let me back that one up. Buy shares now, and you'll probably find you can afford more than if you decided to buy on a random day, let's say in March. Investors call this buying. The extra buys may take you a while to start earning in your portfolio, but at least you have gotten a deal on them. If you decide just to hold on to them, I'm really messing that one up. If you decide to just hold on to what you already got, that's okay too. So basically, don't get crazy when the stock market goes red. A lot of people, and I'm glad that you picked, a lot of people get crazy when the stock market goes into the red and they do something which is called panic sell. They hit that button and they sell, and basically you lost. So if it goes into the red, consider that you're buying something on sale. Don't you want something for a discount, or would you rather pay the full price? Because just like I spoke about brand Nubian, what goes up must come down. In the stock market, what goes down will eventually go back up. So, in any case, so what are your thoughts on, let's just say, the stock market? What do you think about it?
Oh, that's good advice to know. I don't deal with the stock market. I've been thinking about it, but I just never really talked to anybody seriously about it. And it's funny thing, I have a cousin out in California that deals. He works at Merrill Lynch, and
Hmm.
I never really talked to him about it, which I probably should have, but I didn't.
I'll tell you that back in, I want to say, early 2000s, I always wanted to be the person who I am today. I just didn't know how. I always wanted to invest. I always wanted to save. I always wanted to build a legacy, all of that great stuff, but I just didn't know how. And I invested in Tasty Cakes. Do you remember Tasty Cakes?
Yeah.
And it was like 90 cents. And
Uh-huh.
I put about $1,000 into the stock market and it dropped even lower than 90 cents. And I got scared and I pushed a button and I sold and I lost money, maybe about $200-300 at the time.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't let it wait. I didn't let it sit there. I didn't understand what was. And a lot of people who don't understand, they will do exactly what I just did. They put their money in and they watch it like a hawk, because that's when you come from a scarcity mindset and you're afraid that you're going to lose something. And then when something goes wrong, you automatically snatch your money out and then the other side wins. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, in any case, if you're going to put something in the stock market, don't put it in there if you are afraid you're going to lose it.
And you
Just
know
put
what?
it in there and
Okay, go
let it
ahead.
go.
Go ahead.
No, just say just put it in there and let it go. So my biggest thing is, if you're, don't put anything in there that you can't afford to lose. That's a great thing. I'll say that again. Don't put anything in the stock market that you can't afford to lose, because it's a gamble that you play, but it's a healthy gamble. Not like we're going to the casino. This is a healthy gamble and it will help build legacy. But don't put it in there if you can't afford to lose it. So, for example, don't put the rent money in there because you know you can't afford to lose that. But if you got a little bit of extra money on us, May we're going to go and splurge and do something, crazy with. Okay, put that in there and then let it sit, because guess what? You can afford to lose that because you've paid all your other bills. You've done everything you needed to do. And that's just the extra. You put that on the side and then you put that into the market and then you can breathe and just let it sit. Sometimes people put stuff in the market that they shouldn't be, and that's why they can't sit straight.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Now, what were you going to say?
I was gonna say I remember I was working with a coworker, and he had just started investing. He invested in Nike, and he was trying to get me to invest in Nike. This when Nike first, started coming up. And when he told me about his dad, that scared me away. His dad invested, and his dad lost big money. He said his dad committed suicide because of it. That scared me away from investing in the Nike. But if I had to invest in it, oh man,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because,
but
yeah.
I didn't know. No one really talked to me about it. And at the time, he said, "Hey man," he said, "You gonna tell me you don't have $50?" I said, "Nope, I don't."
Yeah.
No, I don't. But he would say, "Okay, man." He said, "I understand." He said, "If you don't know nothing about it, don't mess with it." He said,
You
"Because
know,
you can't be scared when to invest."
absolutely. And it's so mystical that you say that because now, the way that the world is right now, the market has done a roller coaster thing.
Yeah,
But, that's a sad story, what that gentleman experienced with his father. And again,
yeah,
I don't know anything about it, but what that might sound like is what I just spoke about earlier. Sometimes people put too much in there. They put in what they can't afford. And then when something
right,
goes wrong, things like that happen. And a lot of big Wall Street people, when the market crashes, you'll hear stories of stuff like that because they have
right.
so much invested in there and they probably put too much in there and they got a lot riding on. Yeah, yeah, that's a sad story. But yeah, but say history does not repeat itself, but it often rhymes. So stock market crashes and things like that, it'll happen again. But the smart people who understand and know the game, when a market does crash, they won't get upset. They actually will be very happy because that's when they get to go at a discount, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, alrighty. Well, we got a good assignment tonight. Before we get into that, though, I was Frisco, Texas. Where's that at? That sound familiar to you?
yeah. That's up there by. I think it's the one I'm thinking of is up there by Dallas.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Texas, but I did meet somebody on a cruise ship and was speaking to her. So I got a friend that lives in Texas, and I heard all of these crazy stories. And I started sharing some stories with her,
Yeah.
and she definitely did agree. She says, "Yeah, you go when you move in with people." I said, "Nice to know. Thank you so much for confirming that." Because I just wanted to know. I have never in my life ever experienced anything like this, but
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that's a whole other story. I'll tell you about that. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's the one. Because when I seen it, I was thinking, I'm like, that's down it. Then I'm like, no, 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 that's up there by Dallas.
mm.
Up there around Dallas.
Well, we're gonna try to help out Mr. Andre from Frisco, Texas. So here we go. Dear Laren, I've been sitting with this letter for weeks because on paper my life looks good. Great even. But behind the scenes I'm barely holding it together. I make six figures, I drive a nice car, I live in a clean modern apartment, I take trips, I show up looking put together. People think I've made it. I'm broke. Not because I don't earn enough, but because I spend like I'm afraid of looking like I don't belong anymore. Every time my income increased, my lifestyle increased with it. Bigger apartment, nicer clothes, better restaurants, first class upgrades, just this once, subscriptions I don't even use, but keep because they make me feel established. Spiritually, I feel disconnected because I'm chasing an image instead of peace. Mentally, I'm anxious every time my phone buzzes with a bank notification. Physically, stress is sitting in my chest, tight shoulders, sleepless nights. Financially, I'm one emergency away from a disaster. I don't have an emergency fund. I have credit card balances I hide from myself, and I haven't invested consistently in over 2 years. Here's the part that hurts the most. I grew up watching my parents struggle and I promised myself I never live like that. Somewhere along the way I'm confused. Oh, sorry, I'll back that up. Somewhere along the way I confused doing better with spending more. Now it's the holidays, and everyone expects me to show up the same way I always do: gifts, dinner, trips, generosity. And I'm exhausted pretending. How do you step back financially when everyone thinks you're ahead? How do you downgrade without feeling like you failed? And how do you rebuild discipline when comfort has made you complacent? I don't want to end another year like this. Andre from Frisco, Texas. I'll take that right to the top. Dear Laren, I've been sitting with this letter for weeks because on paper my life looks good, great even. but behind the scenes, I'm barely holding it together. I make six figures. I drive a nice car. I live in a clean, modern apartment. I take trips. I show up looking put together, but people think I've made it. But I'm broke. Not because I don't, but because I spend like I'm afraid of looking like I don't belong anymore. Every time my income increases, my lifestyle increases. Bigger apartment, nicer clothes, better restaurants, first class upgrades, just this once. Subscription use, but keep because they make me feel established. Spiritually, I feel disconnected because I'm chasing an image instead of peace. Mentally, I'm anxious every time my phone buzzes with a bank notification. Physically, stress is sitting in my chest, tight shoulders, sleepless nights. Financially, I'm one emergency away from a disaster. I don't emergency fund. I have credit card balances I hide from myself, and I haven't invested consistently in over 2 years. Here's the part that hurts the most. I grew up watching my parents struggle, and I promised myself I never live like that. Somewhere along the way, I confused doing better with spending more. Now it's the holidays, and everyone expects me to show up the way I always do: gifts, dinners, generosity, and I'm exhausted pretending. How do you step back financially when everyone thinks you're ahead? How do you downgrade without feeling like you failed? And how do you rebuild discipline when has made you complacent? I don't want to end another year like this. Andre, what do you think, Birdman?
First of all, my question would be who he's trying to impress, because I would throw this out to him. You know, no, I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna wait till later on. I'm gonna wait till later on. You know, um, it just seemed like at his age, he's trying to live like he's a teenager. He's trying to live that life so everybody can look at him and he can say, "This is what I'm doing." And there's a lot of people that's out there like that, and you know he's spending money unnecessarily. And I say that, you know, he making six figures and he's still not happy. That's crazy. And it sounds like he's by himself. He lived by himself. So I would ask the man, who you trying to impress? Female, your parents, your friends, who? That would be my questions right there. And I said, once you figure out that all them you trying to impress, they don't care, then maybe he can start reeling his finances back in. He hiding credit cards, and he's scared. And it just sounds like, okay, I know what you're doing now. Whenever you do something, you pulling out the plastic instead of paying with cash, or still, instead of putting stuff on layaway, he wants to pay right then and there, knowing that he's gonna have to pay for this. Like what, he lives in a nice neighborhood. Okay, that's cool. And he moved from apartments. When he get a raise, he want nicer clothes, bigger apartment. Why you want a bigger apartment if it's just you?
Hmm.
I would, I remember I told a friend this one time. I said, dude, man, that money that you making spending at a hotel, dude, living, why don't you go buy you a small house, 1 or 2 bedrooms, and be done with it? Because my dad always said, when you move, you lose. And a lot of people don't understand. And it took me a while to understand that. Every time you move, you lose. Because
Mm,
you got to think about, you got to pay for the movers, you got to pay that deposit, and I used to couldn't understand that until I moved so much, and I always like set myself back.
mm, mm-hmm.
It's just like I said, I looked at this and I'm like, he has to have better restaurants, first class upgrades. Why? Because people, no matter what, no matter you doing all of this, they gonna still look at you the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, another thing, I would tell them, and this is what my mom used to say: beauty is only skin deep. Okay, you
Mm.
looking good on the outside, but on the inside, hey man, he might be the worst person. His insides is really tore up because he's trying to look
Mm.
good all the time. And looking good, I mean, you can look good without wearing expensive clothes and jewelry.
Yeah.
That's like I tell my boys, I said, man, you know what? I said, cause one, like Mike, he'll say to me, "Hey, Dad, you found another one like that?" I'm like, "Nah, man, this is, I bought this back in 2005. I got a jogging suit back there, and I wear it in the wintertime because it's warm as hell. I bought him one, and I got me one. I couldn't get Bird one because Bird was, he was young and they didn't have one his size. I just happened to find one Michael size. I still have mine. And if you look at it, you'll think I just went and bought that. I said it's how you take care of your clothes. You don't have
Absolutely.
you don't have to buy clothes every week just to look good. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
buy shoes all the time. Take care of your stuff. And that was the one thing that was drilled into my mind. If you take care of things, it will last.
Take care of stuff, and it'll take care of you and make you be looking so fly, and people be thinking that you spent all of this and all of that. And yeah, I know what
Exactly.
you
And I've
mean.
had people say to me, "Oh man, where you get this from?" At the store. At the store, and I've had it for the longest, but it's because I always take care of my stuff. I hang my clothes up. I wash
Mm-hmm.
my clothes regular. I do that. I mean, if I get a spot, a stain, it don't even have to be a stain. If I wore a t-shirt today, it's going in the dirty clothes tonight when before I go to bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like I said, this guy here, for him to make six figures and to be feeling like this, it's something that's bothering him on the inside.
Yeah.
That and he's thinking, oh, if I look good all the time, look like I got money, people gonna think it. Yeah, until you had said that earlier. Yeah, but when you run out, what's gonna happen then?
Mm. Yep.
Those same people, your friends, and like unless you got an understanding woman, she's not gonna take off. But if you don't have an understanding woman because you've been buying her all these nice things and then something happens because you never know, a sickness, or you
Mm.
can get fired from your job,
Exactly. Anything can
then what you
happen.
gonna do? Huh?
Right. Yeah, anything can happen. They say when life happens, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the fact that he got to move from bigger apartments. Like I said, man, you tossing money out the window. I bet you any amount of money, wherever you move, they call that apartment complex, they'll sit there and they laughing and they joking and saying, "Oh yeah, he got money. Go ahead and accept him. Get his, make
Mm.
sure he paid that deposit." And a lot of people don't believe that, but apartments do work that way.
Yeah, I would say that just like you said, I would agree. There's something wrong, and that's more spiritually. Something's wrong on the inside spiritually, and it could be affecting uh him mentally too. There's could be a combination of spiritual and mental issues that are going on here, and that's trickling and showing up in the physical world. And when it comes to all of the money that you make, just like I spoke about earlier with the brand Nubian, you got to be very careful because that make today ain't going to be the same money that you have tomorrow. So, like I tell most people that I speak with, and including my children as well, they're not even children, they're young adults. Make as much money as you can now. Black out, do whatever you could do, work all of the overtime, do whatever you need to do while you are young and you are healthy, because that may not always be the case in the future. So you have to take care of the younger version of you has to take care of the older version of you that you don't even know exists at this moment. You have no idea what the world is going to throw at you, and you have no idea what your health is going to be like. You have no idea what it's going to be. So do what you need to do now, save your money, invest properly so that you can go ahead and relax and live your life when you get older with stress and anxiety and all of these other things. So,
Yeah, because
Mr.
the way jobs are, companies are folding up now. I tell them, yeah, man. I tell my kids, it don't take Einstein to understand this, man. Put one and one together, you get two. You got you. That's the things you have to do, man. You gotta take care of right now, because tomorrow isn't promised.
Right, right. Yeah, that's yeah, this is an interesting letter and Mr. Andre, I say you just going to have to come clean with yourself, number 1, with your family, with everybody else, and how do you expect to downgrade and worry about all these other people? The more that you continuously worry about other people, the more you're going to stay stuck, and you better get right with yourself and be honest with them today rather than it come crashing down, because if you lose that job today or tomorrow, everything right. So you might as well start to look at your finances and look at things up, clean these balances up, downgrade your life. Less is more. You got to do a little. It's a whole bunch of stuff here going on. Whole bunch of stuff. And
Yes,
Andre's not the only one out there, because I'm sure that there are a lot of people who live like this. This is living beyond your means, and it comes from directions. But if this sounds something similar, only listen, I can only give you from real life experience. I've been here before. Start to back in 2020, I was just Andre in 2020. And when this pandemic happened, and they said be two different types of people, there were going to be people who changed their lives and are going to do something different and are going to come out better on the other side, or there are people that are just going to be stuck. And I didn't want to be someone who was stuck. So I knew that I had my finances out 2020 and prior. So I just started to start paying some things up and cleaning some things up. So that's the only way. Take a long, hard look in the mirror, and yeah, you got to clean some things up. And ain't nobody gonna be able to do it and change it except for you. Yeah.
exactly. And it's nothing to be. It's nothing to be ashamed of if you tell whoever whatever you're doing, like spending your money on. Just say, hey, I can't do that this year,
Hmm.
and you don't even
Right.
have to get no explanation. Just say, hey,
Exactly.
hey, as far as giving gifts out, I'm cutting back.
Right.
And and if you want to give an explanation, just say, I'm cutting back for me.
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
and like I said, I mean, I don't know why, like I said, but that's how a lot of the young people, well, old people too, they get a little money
Yeah.
and it goes to their head, and I'm out here spending, I'm out here doing this, but hey, it runs out, and it's gonna run out.
Hmm. Right.
And like I said, any freak act, it don't even have to be an accident, but anything, like I always say, anything can happen
Right.
at any time.
Right. It's life. Yeah. Mm. Well, I can't believe that it's getting ready to. The hour has been here already. That's something else. It's almost here. So
Yeah.
I don't want to dismiss and not give you your spot. So please let everybody know where you're from, where they can get a hold of you at, anything you have new coming up. Great stuff.
Yeah, I'm here in Houston, Texas. You can follow me on Amazon dot com/author/ Birdman313. I have 10 poetry books there. You can also follow me on Instagram at Birdman31355. You can go to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/author poet Birdman31355. and I cut a lot of videos out. I'm cleaning up my YouTube channel. I'm cutting down from all the videos I have because some of them been up there for 5 6 years, and people, no one's listening to them, so it's just taking up space. You can also find poems and videos on Spotify at Coffee, Wine, and Words platform. So there you go.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah. I don't have any. I don't. Only thing I have, I'm debating on it, is I'm thinking about entering this. It's a contest for authors to see. You send your books in, and see what happens. I'm really thinking about doing that. I have until should I think it's March to get it in. So I
Hmm.
got plenty of time to think about it. And I'm thinking about that's the only thing right now I'm thinking about. I mean, as far as another book come out, I already have that. Only thing I have to work on as far as my other book is my index and a cover. I got everything.
Okay.
I got everything. I got all the poems. And matter of fact, I got two manuscripts. I just got to figure out which one I'm gonna use first.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, you've been working hard. You got all of that in your tool bag. That's good. That's good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
plus, you can find me on here every
Yeah.
Wednesday until Larry said, "Well, it's time to
No,
go."
no. I'm so like happy right now because looking at the monitor and knock on wood, I'm not gonna knock on anything because it'll echo. But
Yeah.
this has been no disruptions. No disruptions. I think I finally figured it out.
Well, that's good.
Because let me tell you, that's one thing that would really, that's behind the scenes stuff. I'll be having a fit with when it does clear, it skips and all this stuff. I've had a fair share of, yeah, like what the hell is going on here? But I think I figured it out finally. Yeah.
Yeah, my son, he been, hey dad. I said, hey, I said, I told him what the deal was, and he was like, okay. He said, I was just calling to check. I'm like, well, that's good, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
no, we rolling and I'm, you know, the next couple weeks I'm gonna start to write some new stuff for 2026 and get prepared for
yeah.
that. So yeah, it's good. Yeah.
And I've had some good feedback too. I've had several people to ask me about this, and I told them, hey, just come on, check it out, and see what we're talking about. So hopefully, you know, hopefully they'll show up.
Yeah, I'm telling you, 2026, this is gonna take it right to the top. This is gonna be something big. Uh
Yeah,
bl- a lot of great things coming. So well, the burning question that I have for tonight, and I know we got to get out of here. We got like 2 minutes, if that we can spend on this burning questions before we get. Why does lifestyle inflation quietly destroy financial stability even at higher income levels? And I'm going to chime in a little bit because I know we touched base speaking of Andre's situation here, but basically, this is for everybody. It does type of money you make. And I tell people this all the time. The person who works at Burger King or McDonald's, if they do the right thing with their money, they'll become a millionaire. If they start at 18 years old working at McDonald's or any fast food restaurant and they do the right thing with their money, by the time they turn to retire, they'll be a millionaire. So if someone making, minimum wage can become a millionaire, just have six figures. If you don't do the right thing with your money, you're not saving it, you're not investing it, you're not putting it where it needs to be, what do you think is going to happen? So that's my sum up, quick books when it comes to this burning question here, because it's basically asking, how does inflation quietly destroy your financial stability even when you make a lot of money? If you ain't doing the right thing with your money, anything can quietly take away from you. So, you have any insights on this real quick before we get out of here?
Yeah, I always tell people, you know what? Fast and easy money is not the best money. Take your time and stop trying to impress other people. Just take care of yourself and do what you can. And if a person don't want to be around you because you can't do nothing for them, let it be.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you so much for that. And we're going to get out of here. And I will talk to you in 2020. I'll talk to you before then, of course. But yeah,
Okay.
I'll see you in 2026.
Okay. You take
Yes, sir.
care.
All right. You have a good night. Take care now.
You do the same.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That Birdman 313. And I want to say thank you all so much for joining in. And we definitely are going to get out of here at this moment. It's that time. If you want to find out more information, please head on over to LarenGaines.com. Please sign up for that free 15-minute consultation if you want to know anything about debt-free living. I focus on debt-free living from the spiritual, mental, physical, and what do we have? I got a lot of different things going on. I know that I have a debt-free living intensive coaching session on January 11th, 2026. I have 2 slots available. This is a private financial strategy session. If you'd like more information on that and you'd like a seat in my financial strategy session, please go ahead and DM me. Text me 609-200. You may also email me as well, info@larengaines.com. A lot of great things coming up in 2026. Please stay tuned as I go ahead and make announcements for this 6 for the next and stuff, the 4-in-1 podcast and Reading Between the Wines. And please enjoy your holiday season. We'll be right back at it again in a couple weeks. And like I said, I could not do any of this without each of you. Thank you so much to Author Birdman 313 for rocking with me all throughout 2025. Thank you to all of the special joins. So many of you I can't even name, and I don't want to name because if I forget somebody might get mad at me. But yes, this has been epic. I've restored so much. And we have, the 4-in-1 podcast, Reading Between the Wines. And yeah, I want to say thank you so much. And on that note, I will see you when I see you. Have a one. Thank you so much. Take care now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's a wrap on today's episode of the 411 podcast and Reading Between the Wines, where growth is always on the menu, and every pour reveals a little more truth. The conversation doesn't end here. Have something to say? Want to weigh in on tonight's burning questions? Text us anytime at the official 411 podcast and Reading Between the Wines hotline at 609-200-1098. Stay plugged in across all social media platforms at Gaines. We're live and in the conversation on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, DLive, Twitch, and Dailymotion. Prefer to listen on the go? The audio version is streaming on most major podcast outlets. Until we meet again, take what you've learned, sip slow, speak truth, and remember, transformation starts within. Powered by the Black Diamond Consultations Network.